Shout out to our sponsor, 1-800-Flowers.com.
Valentine's Day is just around the corner, so tell that special someone just how special they are by using 1-800-Flowers to send 18 radiant red roses for only $29.99, or upgrade your bouquet to 24 red roses for just $10 more.
That way you can say I love you without breaking the bank. And then you've got tons of money left over for all those video games coming out this month. Just visit 1-800-Flowers.com/no.
Do a barrel roll!
Welcome to The Know, I'm Mica Burton.
And I'm Adam Ellis.
Back in the day, to get good in a video game, it cost only one thing: time. You might spend hundreds of hours in games like Final Fantasy or Call of Duty, leveling up your characters or striving to get that one super awesome weapon.
It was called grinding for a reason, and it sucked. Sometimes, But if you put in the time, you'd get the results.
But grinding is becoming a thing of the past in some games, especially mobile ones. It's been replaced by microtransactions, and they're a fact of life these days. And some people are spending a lot of money nowadays to get good. A lot of money. This issue came to light recently on Reddit in a discussion about the mobile game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
Now, if you aren't familiar, Galaxy of Heroes is a mobile card RPG that allows players to collect characters from the Star Wars universe and battle them.
Like Pokemon with Darth Vader. The way you obtain and level up some characters is through shards, which you earn through battles or buy with real money. That's a system that we see in a lot of free-to-play games, like Fire Emblem Heroes, where you use orbs to improve your characters.
And that's where the controversy comes in, because the amount of money you can spend on some of these games is open-ended, which is a scary thought, and the numbers have just gotten bigger and bigger.
Recently, EA introduced 2 new characters into Galaxy of Heroes, and one Reddit user, Albert Myers, broke down how much it would cost to fully upgrade them to their max level. He figured out that it would range, brace yourself, from $1,100 to $1,300 to fully upgrade the 2 new characters, which some people will definitely do because they're considered to be the best in the game. Even if you got the maximum amount of shards in each pack, Albert Myers figures out that it would still cost $200 to level up these characters.
Remember when games used to cost $60? So yeah, that prompted some outcries online that maybe free-to-play games are going too far and are pricing regular gamers out.
Another Reddit user summed up the anti-free-to-play sentiment with this comment: vote with your wallets. See a free-to-play game that has abusive pricing practices? Go play something else. It's not really much different than those insanely priced HDMI cables. The people who do buy are never going to be talked out of it.
Free-to-play games have been around for a while now, and some of them, like Pokemon Go, have been wildly successful with microtransactions. There's a reason why Pokemon Go made $950 million last year.
Wow. While you can also get in-game currency in most games by actually playing, it takes a lot longer. And some games like Hearthstone even limit the amount of currency you can obtain each day, which makes microtransactions even more attractive.
So obviously some players are going to shell out a bunch of money to get good quickly. There's a phrase for it: pay to win. And there's a name for these players that's also used by casinos: whales. As in, there are a lot of fish in the sea, but only a few whales. Not that they're really big or anything like that.
And game designers love whales. They need whales. They can't live without whales. Whales have pretty songs. How important are these spendy players? One study, according to Adweek, found that whales, the top 10% of an app spenders, account for, wait for it, 70% of the revenue.
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
whales are pretty much the lifeblood of these kind of games. While a traditional console game would need to sell millions of copies to be successful, free-to-play games just need to draw in a few whales to pay the bills.
That's why you're seeing microtransactions pop up in more and more games, and even non-free-to-play titles, because there's a ton of money to be made. And that's led to fears from some players that microtransactions are so lucrative that they'll eventually be adopted by all games, not just mobile ones.
We've seen microtransactions pop up in Call of Duty and in FIFA, where you can buy coins to trick out your team in Ultimate Team mode. In that mode, you put together the ultimate soccer roster to battle other gamers online, but it's going to cost you either time or money to put it all together. GamesRadar did a study and determined that the best team possible has a real-world value of over £500 or around $620.
Wow! FIFA in particular is extremely lucrative for EA thanks to Ultimate Team mode. EA has revealed back last year that FIFA is responsible for half of all its extra digital content sales, totaling around $1.3 billion per year. That means FIFA by itself pulls in $650 million in just microtransactions.
Okay, but how big are these whales? How much can someone spend on a game? A lot. A fucking lot.
In 2015, a Reddit user named Matt Cawthron posted that he spent $3,400 on Hearthstone cards in one night.
Did he think it was worth it? Absolutely, he told PC Gamer. Let's say I've spent $5,000 in this game total and received 1,000 hours of entertainment from it. That's only $5 an hour of entertainment. I'll spend $60 in a game that I play for 15 minutes and never touch again. Spend money on what you enjoy.
So yeah, some gamers with money clearly feel like they get what they pay for in terms of hours played versus money spent.
Here's another even crazier example. We reached out to a community manager for a popular mobile game and asked how much their whales spent.
The top player, according to this person, spent $700,000 in under a year, and other players have spent in the hundreds of thousands, which is enough money to buy a house pretty much anywhere, or like 5 cars, but you know, whale's gonna whale.
And you'd better believe that this kind of spending gets noticed by the devs. Another Reddit user, Persykins, posted about their experience meeting a community manager for the online game Superhero City. There were several people in the game who had spent $100,000 or more, and many had spent over $10,000. Holy shit.
Holy shit! Whales were all this community manager thought about, Persykins wrote. They're where the money comes from. They're why this genre is viable. If you don't like that, then I'd strongly suggest playing a different type of game.
Many of these games make their money by selling players loot boxes, which give you a random collection of items for a price. But what are your odds of getting the really good stuff? Developers mostly don't release these stats because presumably the odds are really small, and devs want you to keep buying more.
China is cracking down on that practice, though. Last year, it passed a law that will require devs to disclose the probabilities underlying loot boxes in games like Overwatch, Counter-Strike, and Hearthstone.
Time will tell if that filters out to the rest of the world. One thing is for sure though, whether you like free-to-play games or not, they can be very profitable. And as long as Whales exists, there will always be developers making new nets.
What do you think of free-to-play games? What's the most you've ever spent in a game? I know I personally have spent like $400 on the Love Live game, and I'm not considered a whale! Let us know in the comments!
And for all your gaming news and ridiculous amounts of money spent, free-to-play or otherwise, be sure to like this video and subscribe to The Know.
Thanks to 1-800-Flowers.com for sponsoring this update.
Valentine's Day is coming up quick, so get ahead of the game with 1-800-Flowers.com because flowers are awesome and you're super thoughtful.
Just use 1-800-Flowers.com to order 18 red roses for only $29.99 or upgrade to 24 roses for just $10 more.
Just go to 1-800-Flowers.com/know.